So I have not been feeling very good today, and it's bumping up against a religious trauma mm, moment, experience, teaching. A part of my high control religious past was a message of self-denial. So deny yourself because Jesus denied himself, even to the point of dying on the cross for your sins. Did he want to go die on the cross? No, he didn't. Did he? Yes, he did. So if you're spiritual, you will do the same thing. It doesn't matter how you feel, it doesn't matter what's going on. Deny yourself because God will bless you. You'll feel better if you do the thing. There might be someone else that you encourage who walks away feeling better because they came into contact with you. Like, there were any number of reasons under the sun why I was taught to and bred to deny myself. You don't feel like having sex with your husband for the third time this week? It doesn't matter. Deny yourself. You don't feel like going to church for the third time this week because it's been a very long emotional week. You've been home with the kids and you're freaking exhausted. Doesn't matter. Deny yourself. Jesus, he died on a cross. He sweat tears of blood. Are you sweating tears of blood? No. Then it probably isn't that hard. Just suck it up. Get your big girl pants on. Deny yourself and go do the thing. So deny yourself was such a massive part of my experience that after 20 plus years in this type of atmosphere of varying degrees, I got to the point where I didn't even know myself anymore. I had denied myself so much that I was living my life for other people then at that point. And it's coming up pretty hard for me today because I'm not feeling very good today. And I had all of these things that I wanted to get done on my task list for, my business, showing up and doing things for my business today. And I'm struggling because I've got this nervous system message or something that's like, show up, deny yourself. You're not that bad. It's not, you don't have a fever. So whatever it is, it's just not that bad, right? Like, suck it up and deny yourself. Show up and do the thing. And, there may be some instances where I can do that. There are some times when I can deny myself. I can deny myself a little bit of comfort to do a thing that I might not feel like doing or whatever. But when that was part of your experience in a high control religious atmosphere for so long, it can be really hard to gauge to what level denying yourself and denying your feelings, denying your comfort, like when that's okay and when that's not. And then there's also like these spiritual things that I'm learning about, like, do what feels good, do what lights you up, do the things that, are follow your bliss, do those kinds of things. And it's like, where's the balance, right? Where's the happy medium? Where's that line between showing up and doing something for my business? When is it enough? So like, I've already posted twice today. I made a video while I was in the tub, and then I posted a short, so that was like a 5-minute video, and then I posted a short 10-second video of something for my drafts with just, text over it. And now here I am recording this stuff because I'm wrestling with feeling like I'm not doing enough, and if I don't move the needle every single day in some big way, that these big dreams are not going to come in. And I guess I just want to say that the struggle is real, and if you had a high control religious past that taught you to deny yourself so hard and so often and so much that you barely recognize yourself, you don't know who you are, I just want you to know you're not alone and that we are moving through this. It's okay to bump up against that, even long after you've left that scenario, even long after you are not in the high control situation anymore. Maybe it was not even a church, maybe it was a relationship, maybe it was a high control relationship where your needs didn't matter. Your feelings, your state of being, whether you felt good or not, like, it didn't matter. You still had to show up the way it was expected of you to show up. Maybe it was a high control family. You had high control parents or something, and you always had to show up the way they expected you to show up, or, fill in the blank. There are so many different scenarios and ways in the world where we're expected to show up the way other people need us to for so long that we don't know what we are, who we are, what we want, when it's okay to show up and when it's not, when it's okay to rest and when it's not, when it's okay to be emotional and when it's not, when it's okay to get lost in our emotions and when it's not, when it's okay to do a thing or not do a thing. And like, there's just so many scenarios where that could be part of your experience, that you're struggling now to know when to balance that, and you feel when it's coming up and you wrestle with it and you're working through it. And something I'm doing is I'm just coaching myself. Like I was saying today, I'm not feeling very good, but I still want to do things for my business, and I still want to move the needle, and I still want to show up. The thing is, I'm choosing to show up messy, and that would never have happened before. Now I'm choosing to show up with no hair and makeup and not, like, presentable. Like, oh my God. And I'm talking about it. I'm choosing to show up vulnerable, and I'm choosing to show up because I really do want to embrace these moments of, okay, yeah, I think there's something I can do and I can talk about this. Because here's the thing, like, by tomorrow or the next day, whenever I got around to showing up professionally, or like with hair and makeup and in my office, and record a, professional looking video or whatever, and produce that about self-denial and how the church put me up by, breeding self-denial, programming self-denial so hardcore into my brain and my nervous system that I struggle now to even rest on days when I don't feel good. Jesus. I'm choosing to notice how I feel. I'm choosing to sit in my seat of authority, my seat of power that's deep in my guts. I have established that seat. I know now where that seat sits, and I can access that seat at will. So you've seen in this video, you've watched me get very emotional. And right now I'm sitting in my seat of power. I'm sitting in my seat of authority. You can tell by the change of tone in my voice. You can tell by the different look on my face, the clarity, the control, and the confidence. So I'm sitting in my seat of power, in my guts, as the queen of my life. And I'm observing the fact that I have wrestled today with this emotion, this old framework of needing to show up regardless. I should have the messages were, I should have put makeup on. I should have done my hair. I should have put appropriate brand clothing on and been in my office and created a professional looking video to produce about self-denial if that's what I really wanted to talk about. That's one message. The other message that I'm choosing is I have power to show up however I want. I can show up messy because I can still talk about the detrimental effects of a high control situation breeding self-denial to the point of not knowing yourself and how to take control back. So I've learned how to access my seat of power, seat of authority, and choose the gift. Find, explore, investigate, spend time with this idea of denial. How can I choose to show up in a way that allows me the opportunity to be vulnerable, be honest, address the problem, and still serve someone else like I want to? Well, it's by accessing my seat of power and accepting the truth that there are days when I don't feel good. There are days when I don't feel 100%. But even in those days, there are percentages that still want to do something, that still want to show up somehow. And does not matter the motivation, whether the motivation came out of, right or wrong thinking. I set that to the side. I choose to set that aside. There is no right or wrong thinking. There just is one type of thinking and a different type of thinking. I'm choosing in my power, in my seat of authority, to show up and talk about self-denial, even though I don't feel good, even though I look a hot mess. Because the message is that important, that you can explore these things, you can integrate these things, and you can find a happy medium that feels good to you. If it means, no, I'm just not showing up today, own that and don't show up today in the way that you think you should. And then just coach yourself into that mindset of release. It is okay for me not to show up. I'm choosing for myself in this moment to show up messy, to show up vulnerable, because I really do want to talk about self-denial and this toxic way that some of us have experienced the idea of self-denial. Are there times when self-denial is a good thing and it benefits us and others? Of course. Of course. Are there times when self-denial should not be embraced and we should choose self instead of the other thing? Of course. But the key is to know that both things are happening, both things are available to you. Both things are in your power to choose. You get to choose. You get to choose when to show up and when not to show up. And any choice you make is the perfect one, is the right one. Because at the end of the day, when you are able to sit in your seat of power, your seat of authority as the queen of your life, every choice you make will move the needle. It'll move the needle for yourself and your personal growth and your healing and your rest, or it'll move the needle for your business or for your life or for your job or for your marriage or for your kids, whatever. Your choice is perfect. When you can learn to access your seat of power, your seat of authority, and make your choice with full awareness that either left or it's like this infinity loop, right? Like denying the self and not denying the self. They're like opposite ends of the loop. It's when we get stuck in the middle. This is what my coach taught me. It's when we get stuck in the middle and we can't make a decision one way or the other. where we're not sitting in our seat of authority. So you can show up in the world messy, you can show up in the world put together, you can deny self, not deny self, however that looks like for you is fine, as long as you're moving. And it's even better when you're moving through both sides of this infinity loop from your seat of authority, seat of power, seat of knowing, seat of awareness. So my joy today is to be able to show up messy, show up vulnerable, and I hope that you are able to tune into yourself, tune into your guts, find that seat of authority for you, where it is in your body. If you need help finding that, DM me and I can help you find it. I'll talk to you soon.